Today I will be discussing with you all about Ball State's policy about disclosure of felonies on application, which states applicants who have been convicted of a felony is required to provide a letter of explanation and a court documentation. Well, convicted felons deserve a second chance in society as they've already paid for their crimes, so why make them revisit their past instead of helping them build their future to better society? To keep in mind, these convicted felons get in prison to pay for their crimes, but most of you don't know they have additional punishments like the lack of jobs and lack of educational opportunities. A woman by the name of Azga Igma wrote a book called The Friendly Felon, published in 2017 of July, describing the life of a felon. She states she has a much harder time finding steady employment that has enough pay and benefits to keep her family afloat. Now put your parents in the same situation, and how would they handle such a situation as it was in? As is a pure example of a so-called criminal changing her life around for the better. As is an author and got to go to college and graduated with a bachelor's degree in psychology. Now let's move on to how most states curb the voting rights of former felons. But as you know, we're talking about Ball State's policy, so we'll be talking about Indiana's law. Indiana allows prisoners to vote upon release from jail or prison. So why does Ball State push away felons from getting an education to better their lives and societies? And a New York Times article published in 2018 has this to say about curbing felons from voting. Supporters say the movement gives former felons hope that they will one day overcome the stigma of incarceration and be accepted as responsible citizens. Now, most felons don't want to keep revisiting their past, and by Ball State making them have court documentation and making them provide a letter of why they were convicted pushes them away from pursuing college. Another reference from Azza in the book The Friendly Felon had this to say: someone brings up my past, I either am fired due to rumors or simply ease the public's reaction with the story. As you can see, the fear of talking about a felon's felony is that they tend to believe society will turn their back on them without giving them another chance. Now let me tell you a story from CNBC dated back in June of 2017 of how not turning your back on someone can do. Jay Coughlin, who was 38 at the time, accidentally killed his father due to drinking and driving. He served a month in jail, 5 months under house arrest, and 10 years of probation. Working at Lawson Software, a company located in Minnesota, Lawson knew Coughlin made a mistake, and so did Coughlin, but with the company and Coughlin's family not turning their back on him, he was able to bounce back and regain his old job and eventually work his way up to become the CEO of that company. The company had this to say: our board of directors are fully informed of the facts and circumstances surrounding this event and has expressed its full confidence in Mr. Coughlin's integrity and ability as an officer and director of this company. Coughlin to this day shares his story as inspiration to others for those who feel stuck in their lives. By Ball State giving someone a chance and keeping them from reliving their past can help them become successful in life and to better society. Now we have to consider what being in prison actually consists of. In most jails, they have a scheduled routine just like most citizens. Besides the fact that in jail, they are told when to wake up, when to shower, and when to eat. A movie called Felon, produced in 2008, hits very hard of what a prison can do to one mentally. Throughout the film, the story includes what actually goes on in prison and the violence the inmates see and go through by the guards. Not all violence are caused by the guards, some are caused by other inmates. This movie is available on Amazon Prime. Now you're asking yourself, how does this movie tie into Ball State's policy? Well, the movie portrays how hard it is for prisoners and by a felon getting released and wanting to attend college after being locked up is a huge direction in their lives by wanting to better their lives and to help a society they are a part of. If you're wanting to learn about being in prison, a TikToker by the name of Colin Ray, COLINREA, talks about his time in prison and lets people know exactly what happens in prison. He makes these videos so younger kids don't go in the direction he did. He keeps them out of juvie and out of prison by just sharing his stories. In conclusion, Ball State adopted this policy in 2001, and it was last reviewed in 2016, but as most of you know, a lot can change in 4 years. So I say again, convicted felons shouldn't have to relive their past, but be granted a second chance in society, and Ball State can make this happen by not making them have court documentation or a letter of recommendation to help build their future into better society as a whole. Now I'll leave you all with this. How would you like to keep reliving a mistake you made and people judging you about it instead of helping you build a better life? Does that seem fair to you? There's a lot of different celebrities, Lil Wayne, Mark Wahlberg, and many others that have convicted felons. But society gave them another chance, and they are doing very well in their life. So does that seem fair to give celebrities a chance and not to give convicted felons a chance to get an education?